Welcome, everyone. This is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show. Game number one of the Rangers' 100th year is a 3-0 loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're here to break it down for you from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito along with Dave Maloney and Steve Valiquette. First impressions, Dave, of the first game coached by Mike Sullivan, a loss against his former team.
Well, listen, there's 81 left, right? So that's either good news or it's not so good news. But the bottom line is, to me, it still looked like a confused hockey club. It looked like a hockey club that, to me, looked slow, and I don't know whether that's because of the lack of puck execution or you didn't have the puck enough. In the meantime, it was a one-goal game, and the coverage off the face-off, to me, was baffling. That's it in a nutshell to me. The Rangers, you hope, would have been better on the opening night, but simply put, they weren't good enough.
You see, 2 years ago, I would have made the excuse when Lavi took over, Dave, that it takes a while to get going. It takes 10 or 15 games. But this same group, not the same group, but enough of the same guys went 12-2-1 in the first 15 games in the first year under Lavi. So you can't make that excuse is all. That's just the way it is. And the lack of details and urgency is really what becomes bothersome, because if you wanted to come out and have a great first impression, this was the perfect stage to do it.
Right.
100-year anniversary, new coach, new captain. Your new coach is playing against his old team. There was a lot of motivators there.
Yeah, right.
And in the locker room, usually you guys rally around that. The boys are getting nuts before the game. It's a frenzy. You get on the ice and there's a lot of urgency, but there was no detail and execution. So it didn't matter that the systems has changed. That's out the window for me.
Right, right. No, simply put, I think, too, right from the first shift for me, first two shifts, you have your top six guys on the ice. They can't get out of their own end, right? And this just seemed to set a tone. And the crowd never had a reason to be engaged. Yeah. There's just, that's disappointing. But to me, I think a team needs 20 games. Irregardless if you've got new coaches, new season, you get yourself 20 games. But the thing is, where are you at 20 games? Well, if the first game this season, there's a lot of work to be done, I think.
Yeah. All right, in net for the Penguins, Artur Shilovs, formerly of Vancouver. Steve, only his 20th career NHL game, his first career shutout. Why weren't the Rangers able to challenge him more?
So I have to tee this up before we get to the video for a split second here. Net front is anytime there's a screen and the puck is coming from the blue line and you're looking for broken plays and rebounds off of those screens. Artur Shilovs, over the last 3 years, out of 97 goalies in save percentage, he's 94th. It's his kryptonite. And the Rangers didn't have any screens from the point. And, you know, you can roll the video now. It's not something that you can get excited about because, you know, this one here, of course, is a dump on net. It's not really a good scoring chance. But I saw a lot of this. You know, clear view shots from the point, players winding up outside the slot area on a power play for a one-timer, not a good scoring chance. Clean shot off the wing on an entry. These aren't the looks that are going to score you points with the coaching staff or with your line mates, because those are giveaways. Right. That's the way I look at those. If it's right in the breadbasket where a goalie has clear view on it, the goalie makes the save 97% of the time.
Well, I think, too, Mike Sullivan has made a point of saying, it's okay, you're going to lose hockey games, but how did you lose the game? Were you willing to pay the price that we talked about at the top of the show that was going to be demanded by their head coach? And I think there are just many, once again, I hate to harp on it again, but your top six guys were minus. Now, there were 2 empty net goals. But your top guys weren't visible. And so, but there is time.
That's where you get nervous a little bit. Like, it can't look like last year.
Yeah, it really can't. It really can't. And then, you know, and it can't help but think everybody's going to, when they're asked, if anybody's asked, do you want to win? You're going to admit, at this level, if you don't want to win, you're not at this level, right? So are you going to pay the price to win? And most guys will put their arm up. Now, when it comes time to compete, how does it look? To me, it didn't look very good in opening night.
Now, Igor Shesterkin, now you're going to look at the final score and say the Rangers lost 3-0. Steve, the reality is Shesterkin only gave up 1 goal because, as Dave mentioned, Pittsburgh added 2 empty net goals late. Shesterkin, 27 saves. What did you see from him tonight?
A-plus performance. That game could have been out of reach if it weren't for him, and that's not a good sign. But I thought he was sharp. I mean, all the way mid-season sharp. And you know what the best news about this game was, guys? Igor's equipment. He's got a beautiful set of pads and new gloves out there with the new uniform.
Only Steve would notice that.
I think that might be the nicest gear in the league. And he's moving really fast. There were a few sequences here where he's just taking away middle of the net deep. And I thought his posture was terrific. That's why all the pucks were sticking to him. A little bit of luck here, but he forced the post. And you want to talk about compete, that was compete. That right there, that save from the slot to me is always a good indicator, because when Igor has posture, it's really like saying, if you look at my hand here, this is his upper body and this is his backside, but he's just hanging over the puck.
Right.
It looks big.
Right.
And he was long through the release. So, I mean, good news is that Igor looks terrific.
Well, again, it's the fact that you gave up the one goal, right? And I think as we move along here, we're going to take a look at that goal. And it really was something that, for me, from a coverage issue, so as far as Shesterkin was Shesterkin. And I guess that's good news, right?
Yeah, new #1 D pair, and Fox and Gravikov. What'd you see from them, Dave? What'd you think?
Well, I talked to both of them over the course of camp, and they both admitted it's going to take time for chemistry. And from a defensive standpoint, when you're a defenseman, there's just two of you. So it's quite important that you're on the same page, right? And I think it is going to take time. And, you know, when you think about Adams Fox's really good years, he and Ryan Lindgren had played together forever. They were always impressed that Lindgren was always the first out for Fox or the last out, and vice versa. So there was something going on there. So it's like a lot of things to me, this team, this group, whatever you want to say, there is work to be done.
Do you think that the way the goaltender would work with a new defenseman would be, we've got 4 different calls. We've got reverse. If you tell me to play it, I'm putting it hard on the glass. If you call for my name, I'll give it to you on the tape, or leave it, of course. And do defensemen have that same language where Gavrikov and Fox would be in the locker room and say, hey, look, if my back is turned, yell reverse, and if it's blind, I know you're going to be there. Is it that takes a while to develop, just their outs for each other?
Yeah, yes. I think that's the key. It's just a matter of time. It's time spent. Just you've got an intuitive sense of where. Now, it's a little, like I say, it's easier for a defenseman to develop chemistry because there's just 2. Yeah. It's a little different when you have 3. But it's just, exactly, it's a combination of a lot of things. It's verbal and just knowing. And that was the impressive thing, watching defense pairs who have played together a long time. They just seem to know where one another is, particularly if you've got to get rid of the puck.
All right, guys, let's begin our reaction in the Rangers locker room. Here's a new captain, JT Miller.
I don't know. It's hard to say. We certainly, I don't think it was our best. You know, they outplayed us from the majority of the game, I think. We had some good moments in the game, I thought, but I think what we're trying to get to is better than what we showed today. But on the other side of that is the first game. I know we're going to be better.
Was it more about second chances and trying to get some sustained pressure?
Sure. I mean, yeah, they defended the front of their net really well, and they probably had more chances in front of ours. But like I said, I don't want to overthink it. We know that our expectation for ourselves is higher than what we showed today, but it's the first game. I know we're going to be better.
JT, how are you feeling after not getting a whole lot of preseason action?
Not great. Like, I need to be, like, kind of what I expected. Legs are heavy today. Haven't had a whole lot of reps, but you know, that'll come with time. So I know I'll be better next game as well.
How much of there is a learning curve too, with the new coaching system, you know, and the new system and all that kind of going on for you guys, and trying to learn that on the fly? How much do you kind of figure, like, early in the season, there's going to be some growing pains with that, I guess?
I mean, sure, that could be a factor, but that's not an excuse that we're gonna bring up. They outplayed us today, but it's not a panicky situation. It's one game. There's a lot of expectation for our group, so we're gonna be better next game.
Maybe Miller feeling the effects of the lower body injury that kept him out in the later stages of preseason. Steve, for him, he played 18 minutes. He was a -2, and he didn't get a single shot on goal.
I can't say that.
And he's very honest about how he's not real thrilled with how he played.
I agree, and I don't think that he played many games as a Ranger worse than that one last year. Fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? And so It looked like he was carrying a piano at times, and that's probably the injury and not being up to speed and pace. It's early, of course, but he knows, as anybody knows, it gets late early in the NHL. The first 10 games, guys, you can get left in the dust and it's over. And, you know, not to freak anybody out, but you can't, look, the uniform of Pittsburgh, it might look like Vegas, but that wasn't Vegas, the opponent tonight.
Right. No, that's the comment we made. You know, Steve and I, we were all watching the game, and well, you're playing Colorado, you're playing, you know, an elite team. That might look like a different story, but I guess we'll have to roll with what is coming out of the room from the captain. It's early. They know they have work to do, and hang our hat on that and move forward.